Ever feel like, trying to get that vending machine to give you exactly what you want just by hitting buttons? Kind of feels like that working with AI sometimes, right?
Hmm.
But that, my friend, is where prompt engineering swoops in to save the day.
It's like having the cheat codes.
Totally. We're going deep on this one, folks, diving into the Wikipedia article on prompt engineering. Think of it as, like, learning the secret handshake to make AI do what you want.
I like that, the secret handshake.
Right. You provided some really interesting source material for this deep dive, so we'll be breaking down what prompt engineering actually is, why it's suddenly the hottest topic, and some seriously cool ways people are already using it.
I'm ready to decode it if you are.
Let's do it. Okay, so straight from the Wikipedia article, prompt engineering is basically all about giving AI crystal clear instructions or prompts using plain English, so it understands what we want.
It's kind of wild how we've shifted from all that complex coding to this much more conversational way of working with AI, almost like we're talking to a teammate or something.
Right. And speaking of conversational, the Wikipedia article mentions in-context learning. It's not like something out of a sci-fi movie.
A little bit.
It says large language models can actually learn from prompts on the fly without needing to be retrained for every single task. Blows my mind a little bit.
It's like they're constantly evolving and adapting right in front of us. What this means is, instead of needing a team of engineers to tweak the AI for every little thing, which takes time and a lot of brain power, by the way, we can now get much faster results. It's more flexible too, and this is the really cool part. It opens up the playing field so even non-coders, people like me, could actually use these crazy powerful AI tools.
No more coding boot camp for me.
Maybe not.
I like the sound of that.
Eh.
But let's get specific. The Wikipedia article mentions that prompts can go way beyond just asking simple questions. It gives examples like, write a poem in the style of Edgar Allan Poe about. The possibilities are kind of endless here.
Absolutely. And it goes even further than creative writing. How we structure these prompts can seriously affect the outcome, especially for those really complex tasks. Think of it like, breaking down a tough math problem into smaller bite-sized steps. That's essentially chain of thought prompting. And it's been huge for getting AI to tackle things that require logic, like solving equations.
Okay, break it down for me. Give me an example.
Sure, imagine you ask the AI. There were 23 apples in the cafeteria. They used 20 for lunch and bought 6 more. How many apples are left? Now, instead of just spitting out the answer, a chain of thought prompt would guide the AI to reason through each step. It might be something like, okay, there were 23 apples. They used 20, so 23 minus 20 equals 3. They got 6 more, so 3 plus 6 equals 9. Therefore, the answer is 9. See?
It's like the AI is showing its work. Makes it easier to follow along and trust the answer.
Right. And the Wikipedia article actually lists over 29 different prompt engineering techniques. What's even crazier is that we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with text prompts. It gets even wilder when you move beyond words.
Wait, beyond words, you're talking about non-text prompts. The article mentioned those, but tell me more.
Picture this. You feed the AI a bunch of images instead of text. It can analyze them and then create something totally new, but with the same style or elements.
Whoa, so it's like saying, I like this vibe, give me more of that, but make it new.
Exactly. Platforms like Midjourney are already doing this with AI art. And it goes even further. There are techniques like gradient descent, which is basically letting the AI search for the absolute best prompts by itself. It's AI optimizing AI.
That's next level stuff. So we've gone from typing out prompts to showing AI pictures and even having it create its own prompts. Where does it even go from here?
That, my friend, is the million-dollar question, and one we'll unpack right after this quick break.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. This tech isn't just for art or anything. It could really shake things up in areas where, being able to communicate clearly is super important. Things like education, customer service, heck, even healthcare could be completely different. Now, those are some big ideas. Can you give me an example? How could prompt engineering actually change those things?
Well, let's take personalized learning, for example. What if we could create educational materials that are tailor-made for each student? We're talking about learning styles, strengths, weaknesses, the whole shebang.
Hold on, so you're saying instead of those generic textbooks, kids could have AI tutors that create custom lessons based on what they need to work on?
Exactly. And in healthcare. Imagine doctors being able to just feed medical images and a patient's entire history into an AI. The AI could help figure out the best treatment plan, or even just think about those customer service calls we all dread. You know those ones, right? Prompt engineering could be the key to creating virtual assistants that actually get us and can help us out without all the headache.
It'd be like having a personal assistant who can read your mind, even when you don't know what you need.
Right. And here's the kicker. We're already starting to see these applications pop up. This isn't some far-off fantasy. It's happening right now.
Okay, but with all this amazing potential, there's always that little voice in my head. Maybe it's just me, but it's like, what if something goes wrong? You know what I mean?
You're right to think about that. Every tool has its risks, no matter how helpful it can be. But instead of getting caught up in the what ifs, I think it's more important to figure out how we can make sure this technology is used for good, responsibly.
I like that approach. So how do we do that? How do we make sure prompt engineering is used ethically?
It all starts with remembering one thing. This tech is a reflection of us. It's a tool. And just like any other tool, we can use it in a good way or a bad way. We have to put ethics first, right from the start.
So it's not just about what we can create, but why we're creating it in the first place.
Exactly. And we need to have some safety measures in place. The folks developing and researching this stuff have to be careful about the data they use to train these models. It's got to be diverse, representative, and free of any harmful biases.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We don't want to create AI that makes existing problems even worse.
Right. It's about being proactive.
Mm-hmm.
We need to design these systems with fairness and inclusivity in mind. And we need to be open and honest about the potential impact of this technology, the good and the bad.
So it's on all of us to work together, the developers, policymakers, and everyday people, to make sure prompt engineering is used for good.
100%. And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be a part of it all. We have a chance to shape the future of AI and use it to help everyone.
I'm here for it. But I want to make sure our listeners are caught up, especially if they're hearing about prompt engineering for the first time. It can sound a little complicated. Can you give us some real-world examples of how this stuff is being used today?
Absolutely. This isn't just happening in some lab. People
Yeah.
are using prompt engineering in their everyday lives already.
Okay, spill the tea. What are some examples?
Well, remember when we were talking about AI-generated art earlier? Platforms like Midjourney, where you use prompts to create those crazy cool images. That's a perfect example. People are using it to design stuff, make art for their homes, even create unique images for their websites. It's like having a personal artist on speed dial.
No more scrolling through endless stock photos then. You can just create exactly what you need. What other creative stuff is out there?
Have you noticed how much better chatbots have gotten? I mean, the ones that don't just give you those robotic answers, but actually seem to get what you're asking?
The ones that don't make you want to scream into the void.
Exactly. A lot of those chatbots are powered by these large language models, and prompt engineering is what makes them so good at understanding us and giving us useful information. Developers are always fine-tuning the prompts used to train them, which makes the chatbots more intuitive, more engaging, and, to be honest, a little less robotic.
It's like the lines are getting blurred between talking to a real person and talking to a machine. What else? Is it just creative stuff and customer service, or?
Oh, there's so much more. Let's talk about marketing. Might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of high-tech AI, but prompt engineering is changing the game.
Marketing. Really? Okay, you've got my attention. How does that even work?
Think about all the work that goes into a marketing campaign, right? You need those slogans that stick, ad copy that grabs people, and social media posts that actually connect. Well, prompt engineering can help with all of that.
So you're saying AI could be the next Don Draper?
Huh, maybe. The point is, marketers can use prompt engineering to target their ads, write engaging content for social media, even personalize those email blasts we all get.
Work smarter, not harder. Love it. But it's not just marketing, right? What about writers?
Totally. In fact, I think it's changing how we write completely, from coming up with ideas to polishing our work. We've gone from typewriters to computers to now AI tools that can help us get those creative juices flowing, edit, and even write different types of content.
Hold up. AI that helps us write. Tell me more.
Imagine this. You're staring at a blank page, completely stuck. Writer's block, right? But instead of giving up, you open up your AI writing tool. You give it a few prompts, like a theme, a writing style, maybe just a couple of keywords, and boom, it gives you a starting point, something to build on.
That would have saved me so much time and stress in college. But it's more than just getting unstuck, right? What about the actual writing part?
There are tools out there that can analyze your writing and tell you how to make it better, clearer, more concise, all that good stuff. Need to change the tone? Done. Want to make it more persuasive or descriptive? The right prompts can help you do that too.
It's like having an editor on call 24/7. Okay, but let's talk music. The Wikipedia article mentioned AI composing music, right? What's up with that?
It's true. And you guessed it, prompt engineering is the secret sauce. If you give an AI some prompts like a certain genre, a mood, even just a few notes of a melody, it can create an entire piece of music.
So basically, I can live out my rock star dreams through an AI. I don't know whether to be impressed or scared.
It's a little bit of both, honestly. It really makes you think about creativity and who the author really is, right? But more importantly, it shows us that prompt engineering is a really powerful tool.
No doubt. It seems like prompt engineering is already changing everything: art, marketing, writing, even customer service.
Mhm.
And it makes you wonder, what about fields like, say, scientific research? I bet it could have a huge impact there, right?
Absolutely. It has the potential to revolutionize how we make discoveries and tackle some of the world's toughest problems. But let's dive into that right after we take a quick break.
And we're back, folks. We've covered a ton about prompt engineering today, but before we wrap things up, I wanted to go back to something you mentioned earlier, something about prompt engineering being a new form of literacy.
Mhm.
Can you expand on that a little? What exactly did you mean?
Sure. You know how, like, in the past, being literate meant being able to read and write, understanding the written word. Well, now we're dealing with these machines that think in a totally different way. And prompt engineering, it's like learning how to speak their language.
So it's not just about coding anymore. It's about, like, speaking AI.
You got it. We have to understand how these AI models work, how they think, and what we need to say to get the results we want. It's about bridging that gap between what we want to say and what the machine understands.
It's kind of like learning a new language opens up a whole new world. You can see things from a different perspective.
Exactly. And with prompt engineering, that new world is all about working with AI to solve those big problems, automate stuff, and even be more creative. But like you said before, we got to make sure we're using it responsibly and ethically.
Which brings us back to how prompt engineering could totally shake up scientific research. What are your thoughts on that?
It's huge.
Yeah.
Scientists could use it to analyze massive amounts of data, find those hidden patterns and come up with new hypotheses. We're talking about speeding up discoveries like crazy.
So instead of scientists spending years and years on research, AI could help them get those breakthroughs way faster.
Exactly. Think about it. Using prompt engineering to create new medications, design those super efficient solar panels everyone's talking about, heck, even unlocking the secrets of the human brain.
It's exciting, for sure, but also a little intimidating, right?
A little bit. It shows how important it is to be both excited and cautious about this technology. We can't forget about the ethics, got to be transparent about how we develop and use these systems, and always remember, AI is a tool to help us, not replace us.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I am feeling a sense of awe, but also like a healthy dose of skepticism. It's clear that we're on the verge of something big, something revolutionary, but it's up to all of us to make sure we use it for the right reasons, for the good of everyone.
Well said. It's a wild time to be alive, watching this tech revolution unfold. And it all comes down to language, to this new kind of literacy prompt engineering.
So to everyone listening, what will you create with the language of AI? Until next time, keep those minds curious and happy prompting.